often done incorrect. So this is the basic idea. We get into basically a cobra pose like we would in yoga. All of the same rules apply for us correcting the seal stretch that apply to correcting the cobra. First and foremost, as I've described in previous downloads, if I just get down here with an empty back, no activation, no awareness, no contraction, and I proceed to put any stretch into the back, any strain into my arch, my lower back will feel it right here, like a bar, right? It's very dangerous. If now I do my spinal check, I curl my pubis under, I engage my glutes, butt gets tight. Now I pull my ribs lightly into my spine, and I correct my shoulders just like we did before. Now when I do it, the stress is more shared in the body, and my trunk, my core is more stable. And all those contractions and adjustments are protecting my spine. I do not want to have a loose back, unengaged and unaware, and then use the muscle of my arms to push my spine into a position it shouldn't be in. I need to feel it everywhere, take responsibility for it everywhere, and control it everywhere. So tailbone under, glutes engaged, ribs are in, shoulders are comfortable and smushed together. Now if I lift up with my arms, tricep elongate, get up here, I can feel it, it's nice, it's comfortable, I can move a little bit, but it's safe. I have a lot of information being fed back to me. So now let's say I wanted to do the seal stretch. The seal stretch is the exact same posture with an inversion. The two common errors in the seal stretch, number one, is that people completely forget their spine, which we just addressed, but two, they now completely just hang out here on their arms. Hyper elongate the elbow, which overstretches. Now the full weight of the body is on that connective tissue that we've been trying so hard to strengthen and build awareness in, and now we just stretch it open. It can be injurious for the capsule, the lubrication in the elbow. It can be bad for the shoulders. The shoulders are very often unstable. You'll see people like that when they're doing it. And when one part of the chain is unaware and insensitive, generally it starts to infect the other. So easiest way to get into it is to lightly, from a kneeling position, to lightly roll. Remember what I said about those educated fingertips from those throwing grips, right? We have milliseconds of fine, refined control in these fingertips. Feel the floor. In traditional jiu-jitsu, I was always taught that rather than fall into this, we should feel all 10 fingertips on the floor and trace a shape. And that little motion looks very beautiful. A lot of people think it's traditional and ritualistic and therefore mustn't be good. It's to wake up the body. It's to educate the body. And a lot of the Asian martial arts talk about the 10 fingers and the 10 toes being connected by meridians, and they have a lot of theory behind it that may not be scientifically explicable, but touching and feeling the earth, feeling the ground, slowly giving your hands a chance to acclimatize, there's nothing mystical about that. It's just good body awareness. And what will happen is, instead of jamming myself into a position where I'm out of alignment, I will now immediately see, today, my palms, they're not able to get all the way down, my wrists are a little bit tight. When I open the palm in that position, it's precisely that carpal tunnel, that little groove here. We know the syndrome, but do we know the tunnel? It's that space between the bones that's so prone to injury because that angle is too severe. That's why I always advocate not striking with that 90-degree angle. It opens this channel up, makes it prone to injury, puts too much strain here. I want to avoid this kind of compression on my body. I want to keep it nice and comfortable, relatively more open. So exact same thing here. Don't jam the weight back. Let the weight go forward. Feel the fingertips trace the shape, and if you're so far back that or forward rather, that you're not able to comfortably get your palm heels down, bring the mass of your shoulders and your head forward so it's not a complete 90-degree angle in your wrists. Slowly, as I slide back now, make sure I have flexion in my elbows. Don't elongate, keep them actively engaged. And then from this position as I slide in, make sure that spine is in check and everything is comfortable. And now what I can do here, if it's comfortable, I can begin to release the bicep. At the beginning, it is better to keep the flexion, and that flexion is being maintained by an activated bicep that's protecting your joint. You're still getting a stretch, but it's a load-bearing, contracted stretch. And once that feels comfortable, and you have trust and you have awareness, I can release the biceps slowly and see what that feels like. And if the release is good, then I can activate my triceps. When I activate the triceps, I can begin spinning my shoulder blades together to open myself up more. And now I will get close to a very full elongation, but I'm getting to that elongation in a protected manner where there's still, if I took my hand up, there's still a flexion. So it looks like I'm elongated, but it's quite different from jamming it open. My hand is inviting that elongation through a proper contraction, a proper progression. So again, trace the shape, roll forward onto your palm heels. Forward onto the palm heels. Do not put too much strain immediately on the wrists. Secondly, activate the elbows. Make sure they're a little bent. Slide your body back. Third, check that spine. Make sure it's engaged. If it is enough work there, breathe and relax. It shouldn't hurt. If you need to rush out of it, it's too hard for your body. It should not be something you want to get through, something you want to get to. You want to enjoy it like a vacation. And if that feels good, try to see if you can feel that bicep and allow it to relax. And if you think you're ready, spiral contract that tricep. Let that bicep open up fully and see what it feels like. If you get out of the stretch and you feel pain in the wrist, pain in the elbow, or too much strain anywhere in the arm, then use that information to educate how you do it the next time. Because sometimes we're so lost in all the minutiae and the corrections that we don't realize we're hurting ourselves. But by progressing slowly and progressively, you're less likely to have a catastrophic failure or injury. And then every time you do it, you're doing it with purpose and intent. You know what you're trying to achieve, and you're educating. Not only you're not only making the body stronger, making it more flexible, you're making it smarter, and you're increasing your ability to feel in control.